Thank you. Firstly, I would like to thank the media for your presence today. Thank you for making time to be here. And we, as a government, will always appreciate our partnership with the media moving forward. So today marks the end of, moving towards the end of the financial year 2024, 2023-24, before we move on to the budget, which is the next budget 2024 to 2025. And as you are aware, the 23-24 budget was the first budget prepared by the coalition government since we came into power on the 24th December 2024. And my ministry's budget covers three heads, which is head 40, 41, and 43, if you look at the budget documents. It provides for 7 departments and grants for 2 commercial statutory authorities. The departments include Met Services, Energy, Works, Building and Government Architects, Water and Sewage, Government Shipping Services, Transport. And the CSAs within that budget includes LTA and MSAF, Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji. The other head, 41, is Water Authority of Fiji, and 43 covers Fiji Roads Authority. The ministry has achieved significant output in terms of service delivery at the end of the third quarter of this financial year. We are expecting 85 to 90% coverage of the budget or usage of the budget by the end of the financial year. In terms of governance and budget deliveries, there are areas which we have focused on, and some of those, one of the important ones is governance. And in terms of the change of boards, and also you may have known that there's been legislation passed, which is the first ever Fiji Meteorological Services Act 2024, giving a bit more autonomy to our Met Services. So that means that they are able, to take the initiative in terms of liaison with development partners. And not only that, but also working closely with the ministry in terms of accessing other finances which are outside the normal budget. So it empowers them and also enhances the critical services with in terms of MET. We also launched the National Energy Policy. Some of you may be aware of it. And it provides the foundation moving forward in terms of affordable energy. And not only that, the incorporation of renewable energy into our energy mix. And that needs something we need to progress as we move forward. So it focuses on energy security, access and equity, sustainability and governance. You may also know that we have launched the Water Sector Strategy 2050. That's the first ever water strategy in terms of looking at water issues strategically. So you all know the issues with water, but in order to move forward, we need to finance that too. So we looking at approximately 8 billion to 2050. And again, that's one of our key challenges. For FRA, we have also formulated this first strategic plan, and also MSEF. And this, for MSEF, the strategic plan has been approved by the board. And the other one is the Cabinet has endorsed the public reinstatement of Public Works Department. And the strategies we have suggested in moving forward with that in a sustainable manner, rather than just coming in and removing certain entities and setting up the Public Works Department, which would be an irresponsible and ineffective way of doing it. So in terms of public works, we are assisting with construction and maintenance of rural roads, water sanitation, and especially in terms of government properties, buildings, which we will be looking more into moving into the future. In terms of resilient infrastructure, Fiji is grappling with critical issues, climate change, the aging infrastructure, and rapid increase in the pace of development and our population. So in this regard, it is critical to build, but build better to last. And FRA continues with its work in the last financial year in terms of the bridge replacement program. I've listed there in the paper in terms of the ones which had been completed. Bulu Bridge, Corvo, Matewale, Tabulevu, Velovelo, Angara, Wainawi, Winiasi, Waindamu. So this is an ongoing program which is also a partnership between Fiji government and the Australian Infrastructure Financing Facility for the Pacific. And that will continue into the future. And of course, we continue to thank our development partners, including Australia, in that regard. I had the privilege of commissioning the Tabulevu Bridge, Angara Bridge, Nabuniasi. The FRA, through the Transport Infrastructure Investment Sector project, had also rehabilitated and upgraded major arterial roads to climate resilient standards. This includes work, as you may have seen, continuing works on the Queens and Queens Road, and some of the resealing and major uplifts. And of course, we have to continue. We needed to complete the Foster Road in Wallow Bay and the Queen Elizabeth Drive. In terms of the bridges, you will see the one in Tamabuiwai, that will also be demolished, the old one, and replaced with another 2-lane. And I'm pleased to advise that the Japanese government has agreed to fund that to the tune of 57 million. So works will start with demolition of the old one and the new 2-lane bridge from possibly October. And we envisage that when we look at the 2-way or 4-lane from Wallow Bay to the Tamabuiwai Bridge to continue right up to Lami and onwards, in order to ease the traffic issues at this stage. In terms of rural development, we have continued to work closely with Water Authority of Fiji in terms of various rural water projects. Nanganga, Inra, Nakani, Naitasiri, Nailenga, Wanimbuka, Nasaimbitu, Wanimbuka, Momi, Mabua, Tuimbra, Nandronga, Malaki, and Vunise, Inra. So all these are part of the rural water focus of our ministry and Water Authority of Fiji, and this has benefited many households. We also, through our Department of Water and Sewage, with UNICEF, convened the first ever National Water Committee Stakeholders Workshop. This will continue to be strengthened so that the governance of water at the village and community level is done in a more efficient and effective way. So this involves the training of those at the village level to maintain their own water systems. The Viria Water Project, this has been completed. There are some key compliance issues which are being currently undertaken by contractors, which need to bring it into those compliance and technical sign-offs. But that is now operational and supplying water to 360,000 people along the Suva-Nosori corridor. And near that too is the Wunindawa package plant, which have also been commissioned. In terms of shipping services, the franchise scheme, as you understand, is designed to support our maritime communities with uneconomical routes. Has completed 150 trips between August 23 and May 24. It is aimed at enhancing connectivity and accessibility of our maritime island communities, and also to bring them online in terms of economic connectiveness, access to markets, and not only that, and also in terms of the river situation, for us taking development to our maritime islands. A total of 1.12 million subsidy had been paid to vessel operators to ensure the continuing services and transportation of 6,628 passengers inbound and 6,828 outbound. And it has also supported significant cargo movement, reflecting the role of maritime services in the economic development of our maritime communities. And cargo total 1,996 tons, and outward cargo reached 2,041 tons. The issue about the costs have been raised by a lot of our maritime communities, and that is under review with a regulatory body which deals with prices, which is the FCCC. In terms of energy for the 23-24, financially a total of 1,000 new solar systems had been earmarked and successfully installed in our rural and maritime communities. And the total number 1,000, which covered Tabuini, the Kaunrawe, Mbua, Maduata, Naitasiri, and the various provinces as listed. Majority would be in Tabuini, the Kaunrawe, and Mbua, and also Naitasiri and Lomaiviti. A total of $3 million was allocated in terms of these installations. The grid extension and house wiring works, department works closely with EFL in terms of this, the rural electrification, and a total of 111 grid extension projects are currently in progress with EFL. In the Central Division, there's 49, Western 50, Northern 12. So it comes to approximately $15 million. Unfortunately, the progress has not been as we had wanted. The current projects currently is Tikino Navatusila in Ba, Tikino Nassau in Ra, and Naselesele Tabuini. So we are working closely with EFL in terms of reviewing the procedure or the processes in terms of the implementation of rural electrification so that we can assess where the blockages are and resolve those. There are various reasons behind that, the lack of skilled manpower, the difficulty in terms of the supply of materials, etc. But we need to relook at that and work with EFL to ensure that the implementation is done in an effective and more efficient manner. Collaborations and partnerships, one of the key ones is the US $3 million Koika mega 1.5 megawatt solar project in Mua Tabuini. This is nearing completion and will be commissioned soon to be online in terms of the grid there in Tabuini. And there was also a UAE funded project in terms of the name is Lakaro for the rural solar power systems on Rotuma, Lakemba, and Kandabui. So this has not worked progress well, so we have renegotiated with the UAE government and the MFED, New Zealand government, to kickstart this and ensure that it is completed. So $2.5 million US has been provided to support that and to make sure that that is completed. In terms of ADB, we are also working on the upgrade of the Mbuda micro hydro project and the installation of a 30 kilowatt microgrid system in Kandawu with funding of 3.4 million. The United Nations Industrial Development Organization have also provided a funding support of US 268,000 through the Ministry for the installation of a 40 kilowatt grid connect system for the Nosori market and for Lomanikaya village Batulele. So these are just some examples of current projects, but we are happy that various development partners and agencies are providing funding to the Fiji Rural Electrification Fund, which is managed within the Ministry for Rural Electrification. And we have secured Australian dollars 7.25 million from DFED, Australia, and 2.45 million New Zealand dollars MFED, New Zealand. So, and also the United States Trade Development Assistance had provided a funding to the tune of 860,000 US for the feasibility study of 75 sites for solarization. And this work is being done closely with GGI and also the University of Arizona in terms of accelerating off-grid electricity, not only in Fiji but also in the Pacific Islands. But what I've mentioned is what's happening in the ministry with Fiji Rural Electrification Fund managed by our Department of Energy. The public works, we have worked and also completed a lot of work for our ministries, including plans and also feasibilities and all that. So 49 resilient building plan designs, estimated value of 37 million across the country had been completed by our Department of Government Building and Architects. And it is a department that we need to strengthen moving forward. Unfortunately, given the issues with our skills outward movement, it is a challenge. Our divisional engineers have completed routine maintenance works, upgrading, totaling 1.8 million. And this includes upgrade of government properties and related works. The rural roads, we have also progressed 19 kilometers from Nawaisomo to Wairorua to Nakinda in the interior, province of Naitasiri and Ra. Government through FRA have completed the roads from on Kandabu, Bunise to Vadala, and Bunise Junction to Vokabu village. So these are very critical in terms of the economy of Kandabu, connecting them, and not only that, but also, of course, access for Bunisia School, Rabualu, Yavitu Government Youth School, Rabualu District School, Soso Village, and Nadeva District School. So those are some of the works in terms of the revamped Public Works Department. Some of the projects we had to fast track, which had been held up when we came in, the Tonga Bridge, as you can see just outside Koronivia there, that had been held up for quite some time. And for any small flood, the population was held up and could not cross it. So, and also in places in Telibu South, in the Delta areas, we managed to upgrade some roads there, which have been constantly flooding. There was another issue of drainage, and the government is also bringing back the drainage boards in order to effectively and efficiently maintain our drains in our various divisions. And we envisage that road issues relating to poor drainage will be alleviated through the bringing back of the drainage board. And of course, there are some areas which have not been connected. I don't know why, as development progress, for example, in tourism areas, these areas were not connected to water. So this includes Momi village in Nanronga, and also Busama, waterline extension projects which have been initiated and which are completed and currently ongoing. So those kinds of projects we would like to emphasize and move forward with in terms of connecting the unconnected. You'll be surprised that there are communities in Fiji which are not connected to clean water, but also not even connected to water. And one was in Mbilo settlement. They've been in that situation for a long time. And the project has now begun to connect them to the water main out there in Vaisari. So there are economically challenged settlements there. They have disabled, etc. And it's very important that we connect those communities as we move forward in development. So we cannot have big tourism hotel projects sitting there and communities who can see the hotel but are not connected. This is just total injustice. The LTA, they've also moved forward in terms of some of the way bridges projects. Currently, policies, regulations are being reviewed, and we should be making some announcements soon or in the budget. The international relations, the International Maritime Organization will establish, or we are in the process of establishing a regional presence office in Suva. So that's very important in terms of our maritime sector, the review of our maritime shipping, decarbonization of maritime shipping, not only that, but also in terms of our seafarers, and linking them up to seafaring organizations, and even training and employment. Just to end with the ministry restructure, you would know that we have a new team there in terms of the permanent secretary, and also we used to have a manager policy. I've reviewed that to manage our projects and monitoring and evaluation, because one of the key criticisms from finance is the slow implementation of projects, or in terms of our using or utilization of budget. So with this review within the ministry, I believe I'm confident that we will be moving forward in terms of more efficient and effective implementation of our budget and our programs. So with that, we will need to closely monitor how the departments and the various entities are implementing their projects. And that team will also do quarterly reviews, 6 months, and as and when required, in order to update headquarters on the implementation and the progress. And I believe that's very, very critical in terms of what the ministry needs to achieve, especially at the ground level, with our people in terms of the needs for roads, the water, and energy, which are basic needs and also key issues in the sustainable development goals. And the other, finally, the important one is in terms of financing. You will know the limited finances we have. Our revenue as a government cannot sustain expenditure. So it is the responsibility of ministries to also access financing which is available outside Fiji. And one of the opportunities is climate financing, which is why we have, I've engaged a climate finance advisor, and we are putting together project proposals which we can present to the Global Environment Fund or other climate financing mechanisms, which cover the roads, water, and energy, and also the prioritization of those, the formulation of project proposals which satisfy the criteria. And that is why we have that person there on board. And my view about COP, we need to go there with concrete proposals. And that is what we are preparing in terms of water, energy, and roads. Remember that water, we need 7 billion or 8 billion up to 2050. So we need to plan for that, its financing, etc., which is why the climate financing advisor is also in our team now to plan for that. Even if we go out of government, even if I'm not in government, I'm not the minister, the structures are there to sustain us moving forward in terms of the deliverables on roads, water, and energy, and then mechanisms within which we need to secure now to take us forward to the next few decades to 2050.